Sorry about that, y'all. I was on mute. Hello, everybody. Huge shout out to our replay viewers. If you happen to be tuning in on the replay, go ahead and type in hashtag replay right now. We absolutely love our replay viewers. All right. So we have an amazing show for you guys today. It's not going to be super duper long. We want to give you guys some great content and then go on, have you guys go on with the rest of your day. Because yesterday we gave y'all a lot. We gave y'all a lot of great information yesterday. If you guys missed yesterday's conversation, go ahead and go to, and catch the replay and check that out. Those of y'all who are tuning in, I was thinking of starting like, I don't know, maybe like a playlist. I know for those of you who are on YouTube, I can definitely do a playlist. Type in one in the chat if y'all want me to do a playlist. So for those of y'all who miss episodes, because Meiyoko and I are here every Wednesday and Thursdays at 12-ish Eastern Standard Time. I want to set up a replay so y'all can get caught up and get the show on demand. All right. So Meiyoko is going to be joining us very soon. We have a great topic. Here's what we want to talk about, because we're getting very personal. We've been getting very, very personal. With the conversations that we've been having for the past couple of weeks. But my question for you, type in 1 if you say yes to this question, or type in 2 if you're saying no. Are you taking your business too personal? Type in 1 if yes, type in 2 if no. No answer is wrong, right? Are you taking your business too personal? Go ahead and type in 1 if that's the answer is a yes, or type in 2 if your answer is no. For those of you who are tuning in for the very, very first time, my name is Leticia Campbell. I call myself your #1 email marketing strategist. I'm also the CEO and founder of the Campbell Success Network and the Your Brand, Your Breakthrough, alongside with Meiyoko, who's going to be all right. I should be back. Sorry about that, guys. Had to switch routers. Give me 1 second. Hey, Timothy, how are you doing, love? Thank you for hopping on. All right, type in 1 if y'all type in the word me. Type in word me. And Therese, let me know if I'm back. I had to switch routers here. Let me know if I'm back. Type in me if you can hear me, if you can see me good. All right. I know my internet just went out. Let me go ahead and check on my end. Okay, good. All right, great. So, like I said before, this is a good question. This is a really, really good question. Are you taking your business too personal? I had a good conversation earlier this morning. Thank you so much, Therese. Therese is our show producer. Listen, I call her the right and the left hand of my business. I love her to death. Yeah, so I had a great conversation today with a business partner. We talked about business and taking things personal and boundaries and all those things, and we're going to tap into that in just a second. But I think definitely having those conversations is important. Yesterday we definitely honed in on the fact that our emotions in our businesses, our emotions in our personal life is definitely something that we have to evaluate on a consistent basis. So for those of you who just hopped on, please make sure that you share this out. Tag someone on here that you feel needs to be a part of this conversation. I think the best people to tag in this conversation is those who are going through a lot of emotional ups and downs in their business, and they're always calling you and be like, hey, this happened, that happened, right? Hey, Meiyoko. And they're always coming to you for advice. This is the best live for you to go ahead and tag them in on, because we're going to be diving in to, are you taking your business too personal? Too personal, right? So, hey, Meiyoko, how you doing?
What's up? What is up?
You can hear me good, right? Because my internet is acting crazy today. I don't know if it's because of the
You know, it's
weather or
interesting.
what.
My internet is acting weird too, but
Right. Even when you came on, you had that little swirly thing. So guys, please forgive us in advance. Hopefully our internet is going to stay where it needs to stay. Because both Miyoko and I, we're like neighbors. I'm in New York, he's in New Jersey.
yep.
So we always
We have been
experience the
having a
same
lot of
thing.
rain and a lot of flooding and all that other good stuff. So
Right, right. And everybody just keep safe, stay safe and all the things. And we're gonna keep going with the show. So I asked everyone, hey Tamika, how you doing, love? I asked the question since Tamika, you're on here. I know Teresa's on here. I know a couple of you guys are watching the replay. But I said type in one in the chat if you feel right now that you're taking your business too personal, and type in two in the chat if your answer is no, right? Is if
mm,
your answer is no, right? All right, you ready, Miyoko? Let's go ahead and get into the first. We got 2 points for you guys today because we went. I was telling them that we went really heavy yesterday.
yeah, yesterday was heavy.
Yes, yes. All
Yesterday
right,
was
Tamika.
really heavy.
Yeah,
Really
so I
heavy.
think let's keep a little light, today being Thursday and everything, and just give them 2 points. I hope you don't
Okay.
mind.
All right, let's do it.
Because I had another one, but I was like, let me talk to you about that one first. Maybe that could be a third,
All
another
right.
conversation for next week. But let's go ahead and highlight Tamika's answer because I want to do that before we get to the topics. Tamika said yes, one, that she is taking her business too personal.
Okay.
Miyoko, is there any like underlying question you want to have to that to go a little bit more deeper into her answer?
If like you said, this could be a little light, but I love it when it's kind of few people in here because it can be more intimate. If you don't
Yeah,
mind explaining what do you mean by how do you think you're taking your business too personal,
correct.
that would be cool. Let's give them a
Yeah.
little something extra today.
Yes,
Let's
and we're
hear
just doing
about
it with Tamika today, y'all, because again, we don't want to,
no, just
drag
Tamika,
this out. Yeah, just
just
Tamika. But
Tamika,
again, y'all can put one in, and we could, we could
just
actually
Tamika.
answer those questions in
Um,
the chat, and we'll respond.
we're not going to turn this into an actual training session, but I'm curious to know what exactly she means by what area of her
Correct.
business she take it too personal.
Right, right,
Let me
right.
put
All
this
right.
on
So
disturb.
speaking of that, let's go ahead to our first point, our first of 2 points today. Like we said, we're going to take a little light. When
Mm.
business feels like rejection. So
Mm.
I added that because, and I just, that's the first thing I thought in my mind when it comes to too personal, where we make a post, right?
Okay.
Follow me here. And, hour goes by, 2 hours go by, or a day goes by.
Okay.
And I'm just saying it's personal, me. I'm just being transparent, how it was in the past. And
Mhm.
it's like, wait, I didn't get a like, I didn't get a comment, I didn't get a client.
Right. Right.
So in my mind back then, I used to think that that was like a form of personal attack
Mhm.
where I didn't get the feedback or the engagement or the conversion, because we don't just show up here just to post cat videos and stuff, right?
Right.
We
Right.
come here
Right.
to convert. We didn't get that. So it feels like rejection.
Mhm.
So that's what it is. I feel like if you're feeling like, oh, Tamika said, trusting everyone and not following business policies. Yes.
Okay.
So we'll get to your answer in just a second because I want to hone in on this point here.
Okay.
It's that feeling of you're not where you need to be. You're not getting the likes, the comments, or the conversion to customers and clients. But you see everybody else winning. You go
Mhm.
every time you open up your Instagram app, your Facebook app, everyone's winning, and you feel like everyone's just rejecting you.
Got it. Okay. So rejection can only come from a feeling of desperation. Desperation.
Yeah.
So if I am in my business and I'm posting and I'm doing all these different things and I put a post out there and nobody likes it, nobody comments. First of all, likes and comments can be vanity metrics, first and foremost, right?
Ooh. Wow.
I know people that have a lot of likes, they have a lot of comments, they make
Correct.
no money. They make no
Correct.
money.
Very true.
Um, A lots of followers make no money. Then I know
That's
people
true.
that may get 2 or 3 comments, 10 likes,
Yep.
maybe a couple hundred followers, and they make over $1 million a year.
Correct.
So my point is, are you posting for validation
Ooh.
or are you posting to add value?
Wow.
I'm going to
That's
ask
true.
that question again. Are you posting for validation of my business? Oh, this is the right thing and I should be doing this. Or are you posting to simply add value?
Simply add value. I
Because if you're,
feel. Oh, yeah.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead. No,
I
you
was,
go.
I was gonna
Go.
say if you're posting to add value,
Yeah.
you may have one person like that post, one person
Right.
comment on that post.
Right.
Then 3 people reach out into your private messages,
Right.
tell you about how that post resonated, and next thing you know, somebody's writing a check or doing a strike for 5 grand, 10 grand
Right.
from that one post. So
Off the
that
one.
one post that you put out there that had one comment and one like was worth $5 or $10,000.
That's right. And you know what's so interesting? And I've seen this with even people that I've worked with in the past. You don't last long when you're trying to post for validation.
No, not at all.
You don't. You sit back and say things like, "Oh, it's been a year. I thought I'd be making 10K a month or something like that." Because you
Mm-hmm.
basically ran the whole year just focusing on you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's that, did you give value? What did you contribute value? Did you give thought provoking content? Even to the point where your thought provoking content could have been controversial a little bit. I'm not talking about getting into politics. I'm just talking about saying things like, I have this one person, I said, I just, she does life insurance. I said, just post like, hey, why don't you have a trust? And for some people in the comments, they caught, like, some people, 1% caught a little bit feeling about that, because now I'll get in my business, but still that provokes some type of value.
Right.
It provokes some type of conversation, you
Right.
know. Going the educational route, think is so important.
It's the intention though. It's
Yeah, it is. It
we
is.
we do so many things to try to validate ourselves, and we look for this
Right.
validation in other people.
Right.
I want you to stop getting so caught up on likes. Everybody
Yeah.
listening, stop getting caught up on likes and comments.
Mm, mm,
Start focusing on the value that you actually want to give. And then what you're going to see happen is likes and comments will come. But what do you, so let me ask you this. Do you
right.
want likes and comments, or do you want money in your bank account?
Right. Right. Right.
Do you want likes or comments, or do you want people that are actually following you, loyal followers
Right.
that are going to be repeat buyers?
Right.
Do you want to build likes and followers, or do you want to actually build a community
Right.
that is your community where
Right.
you are seen as the authority, you are seen as the expert,
Right. Right.
and it continues to consistently grow? Because if
Amen.
you're focused on that, if you're focused on, oh, people are rejecting me when I put my post out there, people are rejecting me when I'm on a sales call, people are rejecting me when I'm reaching out, or anything that I'm trying to do to market.
Right.
If that is your focus, then it kind of goes back to what we were saying yesterday.
Right.
It's an emotional trigger. It's an emotional
Right.
response. So
Right.
you're not focused on giving value. You're focused on getting validation.
Right. And do you really want to help people? I see so many people on the
Right.
internet where
Right.
they just want to make money, but do you genuinely, people know if you really want to help them. And I get it. You can't help everybody. I get that part. You may be working with people and then it's just not a right fit, or they don't have the pure intentions to have the resilience to get to that level in business of pure
Mm-hmm.
domination. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like, do you really want to help people? Now I want to go back to Tamika's question, because I want to ask another question before we answer it, because she
Okay.
mentioned trusting everyone and not following business policies.
Okay.
My question is, before we answer it, is how does that connect with you taking your business too personal? Like, I just want you to go a little more deeper. I want her to go a little more deeper with her
Okay.
answer, before we get more information before we answer it. So, but while she's doing that, let's go to the last point for today, which is stop letting emotions lead your decisions. Now, I raised my hand. That's something I'm still working on. as well. I'm like 90% better. But that's the thing, y'all. Especially, I get it. A lot of y'all have kids, you have bills, you have a lot of responsibility, and you probably have somebody on your back saying, "Well, when you gonna make money? When you gonna make money? When you want to make money?" And I had this conversation, Meiyoko, with this morning. I'm gonna share with the details of that later with you next time we talk one on one. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I was having a conversation with someone who said, "Well, it's up to you, leaving it up to the people to work hard to get them to where they need to be." But
Mm-hmm.
my personal opinion, guys, if you want people, if you want to be a leader, if you want to lead, right? If you want to lead your emotions, you got to be the example.
Absolutely.
You got to be example in your audience. You got to show up and be present. You got to show up and produce results. You got to show
Right.
up and be
Right.
consistent, resilient, all these things.
Right.
And if you're not doing that, and you find that people who are coming, people are not coming to you, or you're not getting the result you want, that's the issue. So, emotional decision making hurts your business. It
Absolutely.
does. When you're like you said the word desperation earlier,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you're being desperate, right? That makes you make poor decisions in your business. It
Yes.
does. It does.
Mm-hmm. Been there.
Yeah.
It's funny because desperation becomes from emotion of scarcity, an
Yeah.
emotion of all this stuff is emotionally connected. It's
Mhm.
pretty fascinating. Um, but you made a good point about 2 or 3 minutes ago.
Right.
Why are you doing this for the right reasons?
Right. Right.
Are you doing this for the right reasons?
Right.
You don't want to start a business for
Right.
validation purposes.
Right.
Having a business is not easy. There's systems you have to put in place. There's positioning, there's
Right.
dealing with limiting beliefs, there's
Right.
putting offers together, finding out
Right.
who your ideal client is. All these things you have to figure out.
Right.
These cannot be driven by your emotions.
It
None of
can.
them.
It
None of
can.
them. So I would love for her to kind of Tamika to talk about how does that tie into her business, because
Yeah.
I think while the time we have left, I know we're kind of short on time today.
Yeah. Yeah.
But with that
You
time, I
can
would
feel
love
it.
to see if we can actually help her.
Yeah.
Um, if she's still here, because I know people pop in and out of
Yeah.
the live stream. Tamika, are you here?
Let us know. Let us know. And this also taps into boundaries too,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Because when you're not setting good boundaries in your business, that does affect your emotions, right? When you're not setting boundaries with clients, right? With people you're collaborating with,
Hmm.
right? Even with family, that does affect how you make decisions in your business. So Tamika said, I
Absolutely.
try to help others that are outside of my business model. Okay.
Ah,
That's a thing. That's a
uh,
oh God, oh my God. Why? Ooh,
yeah.
this is a second confirmation on something that okay, we'll talk later about that, Meiyoko. Anyway,
Ah, I've been
yeah,
here. I've been here. I've
yeah,
been
we
here
all
many
been
a times.
there. Yeah,
Many a
yeah,
times. And the
yeah.
reason why I was trying to
Yeah,
help those people is because at the time I needed the money. I
yeah.
needed the I needed the influx of clientele. And could I help them with it? Sure, I could help them with it. Was it the best
Didn't
use of
we
my
have a conversation about this last night?
Yeah, was it the best use of my area of genius?
Yeah,
No, it wasn't, because now I spread myself too thin. I
yeah,
usually get stuck with doing everything.
yeah.
So my question to you is why do you get stuck doing everything? What
Right.
emotion or what feeling leads to that decision that you're making when it
Yeah.
comes to your business? Because we're talking about emotions, right? And at the end of the day, it wasn't worth it. Okay, so what emotion led you to the decision of taking on something extra that you shouldn't have taken on?
Yeah.
What emotion was it? Did you feel bad for them? Was it financial? What was it that made you make that decision?
Wow, this is good. This is good. I want to go back to her original answer where she said the last part where she said need to start referring instead of trying to be the expert. Don't you know what I find? I even say this to people when I don't know the answer. I'd be like, well, I'm 80% sure that how to do that, but let me get back to you to see who else can help. Because sometimes when you don't have to know everything.
No.
You don't have to do everything. People
Nope.
respect you more when you do delegate or when you
Yep.
do refer to them
Absolutely.
because really we're all resources. So we're trying to be the expert in, like what Tamika was saying, get stuck with. You're not really stuck with doing anything. Being stuck is a choice, right, Meiyoko? Like when we say I'm stuck in this relationship, no, you're not. You're choosing to stay
It's
there.
a choice. It's a choice.
Right, right. Not to pick on anybody, just saying. Yes,
It's a
yes,
choice. But I mean, that's what it is. Like our emotions in our business, we make decisions based on emotions. We make decisions in our business, and it usually most of the time ends up in us screwing something up.
right,
Period.
right. Right. So we got like 2 more minutes. So I want to touch on her last comment. Yes, I'm too caring
Ah,
and trusting
ah.
and get taken advantage of. Ooh. You know what? I'm sorry to say this, Miracle, but our event is going to be flooded with women who have the similar
I'm
thing going
I'm
on.
sure.
If y'all don't
I'm
know, we
sure.
have an event coming up. The link is right
I'm
there
sure.
scrolling on the screen.
Too caring and trusting.
Yeah.
This is so much to unpack in this sentence right here. Yes, I'm too caring and trusting and get taken advantage of. Now, nobody can do anything to you that you don't allow. So the question is, do you care too much? Do you trust too much?
Right.
Or is there an emotional reason why you're choosing to care too much and trust too much?
Right.
And as a result, you feel taken advantage of because that level of integrity is not being reciprocated. So my
Right.
question to you is, why did you choose to give them that type of energy?
And let me tell you something. Miyoko gets on me about that all the time. When I
All the
come to
time.
him with anything, what do you say? What he doesn't say this. He asks me this. Why do you care?
Why do
And
you
I used
care?
to get mad at you when you used to say that.
There's
Like,
something
yeah, go
there's
ahead.
something that is causing you to make the decision and make the choice to do these things for these people
Right,
where you feel
right.
to where you feel like you're being taken advantage of, because
Wow.
sometimes we say I've been taken advantage of, but it's because we put ourselves in a position and in a place where we know or we see things even in business that this is not going to go right. This is questionable, but we do it anyway,
We do it anyway. Amen.
possibly to seek some validation.
Yeah.
And then it backfires. And then we're like, oh man, that person stinks. I was taken advantage of. It's not right. No, it's not right. But
Yeah.
nobody can take advantage of a situation unless you allow them to,
Right.
especially if you're self aware enough to know that something's a little off about this
Right.
situation.
Right. Right.
But so we're talking about emotions. So when it comes to emotions sometimes allow us to make this decision. You says, yes, I'm too caring and trusting and get taken advantage of. All right. That sentence is all emotional.
Yes. All emotional.
1000% emotional.
Yes. 1000%.
Ah, okay.
I wish we had more
Oh,
time.
yo, this right
I
here,
wish
yo,
we
write
gotta
this
put a
down,
pin in it.
Leticia.
We
Write this down.
you just heard what I said. We
Yo,
gotta put a pin in that. We have to put
write
a pin
this
in
down because
that.
I'm gonna say this, and this has to be for another live, maybe next week.
Yeah, let me
Tamika,
screenshot
you
it.
might want to be on.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever enable your clients.
Yeah.
Never
We
do that.
we talked about
You
this
do
yesterday.
you do not want your clients to be codependent on you. I need you, if you're not on next week, we got to talk about this next week.
We
Seriously.
have
We have to
to.
talk
We
about
have
this
to talk
next
about
week.
this next week because you and I were just talking about this yesterday.
Just talking about this last night.
Just talking about this yesterday. So
Being
it's not a
you do
coincidence.
not want to be codependent on your clients,
Right.
and you do not want your clients to be codependent on you.
That's right. That's
I
right.
have never heard anybody in this industry talk about this.
Yep.
Codependency when it comes to the coaching, consultant, entrepreneur, client relationship.
Right.
We have to talk about that. You just said, I want things done right and trust me to make sure everything is handled correctly and procrastinate. So I just do it.
Right.
So what they do is they're codependent on you. And what happens is you want them to be happy. You want to please them. So you do end up doing it yourself, spreading yourself through thin. And then now you feel like you're being taken advantage of, but you made the decision to do it. You literally have just admitted to me you made the decision to do it.
Like where the ego comes in. Yeah.
But you just said they take advantage of you. But you said, to be honest, I want things done right, and they trust me to make sure everything is handled correctly and procrastinate. So I just do it. So, Tamika, this may be hard to swallow. If you just do it, how are they taking advantage of you, sweetheart?
Yeah. Now I know, I know what she's thinking because I feel like her and I are the same with this. We're gonna come with all these different scenarios to
Justify?
defend our answers
Uh-huh.
instead of what it is. And what you always tell to me, you like, Leticia, now you're talking from your ego. And
Yep.
this is, listen, we gotta talk. Listen, so
All
again,
right. So
we got,
these are the two things we're talking about next week.
yeah,
We're talking about codependency and enabling your clients,
yes,
and we're going to talk about egos and entrepreneurship. That's
yes,
what
we
we're
gotta
going to
talk
talk
about
about.
that. We gotta talk about that. All right, guys, listen, we're gonna end on that, okay? Because this is definitely was a super heavy conversation. But go ahead and rewatch this replay again, y'all. We watch this video again, and those of you who are want to go even more deeper on this, definitely come to our tour. Because, like I said, we were just talking about this yesterday, so this is going to
Just
be a
last
part of what
night.
we're going to discuss in our tour. And I feel like this could be one of the breakthroughs, one of the breakthroughs that you're going to get from coming to the tour. So, Tamika, if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, we have live stream tickets, we have in-person tickets. Definitely go to bit.ly/YBYB tour. We would love to have you there. And we're going to be in Maryland, New York, Texas, and Georgia. So we would love for you to come and join us and really get that full circle breakthrough, right? All right, y'all. We're going to end on that note. Y'all continue to have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Okay. Be safe. And we'll see y'all next time.
All
Bye,
right.
guys.
See you later.
Bye bye.